the metal reviews.
Call of Duty versus Battlefield. Let's be stereotypical and do this debate like every other gamer in the world. Because YOLO, why not? We like some Call of Duty. We like some Battlefield up in this shit.
Yeah.
So we're here to give our thoughts on each side, the good, the bad,
the ugly.
And the ugly.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's start with Call of Duty first.
Clint Eastwood.
Sam, let's start with Call of Duty first. What's your favorite Call of Duty game before we get into what you like about Call of Duty?
Probably the first Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4.
Why?
There are games, I guess, that are more advanced than that one and everything, but that is, for me, I think a lot of people, what actually got Call of Duty, off and running.
Yes!
Because Call of Duty 3, I mean, I've seen it in stores before, but I've never wanted to buy it.
It's atrocious. Don't do it.
It's just for PlayStation 2, right?
No, it's for Xbox and PlayStation. I played it for a long time. I know me and Brandon would play it. The multiplayer war mode, that's where they first introduced it, was fantastic, but it was kind of like, compared to the multiplayer now, it's kind of shitty, and the campaign was kind of shitty.
Well, not even the multiplayer, just the campaign.
Yeah, the campaign was just kind of meh.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah,
I have to go with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare also. Pretty much for everything Sam said. This game is legendary. I don't care what anyone says. People might hate on Call of Duty, but a lot of modern gaming, especially with shooters and multiplayer, if it wasn't for this game, it wouldn't be how it is now. This game just took everything to a whole new level. It's fantastic. I mean, the campaign is actually still really, really good. It was gripping. It had moments in there that have never been, done in a game before, and especially a shooter. It took a bold move out and stuck its leg out of the World War II stuff that every game shooter seemed to try to do, and now it started this modern military thing that everybody's trying to do as well. And the multiplayer was just fantastic. I still have my OG copy of this game from 2007, and it's still awesome. I'm surprised it still works because I played this game that fucking much. But yeah, I'd have to say Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 1.
Now, I'm not going to deny the greatness and the importance of Call of Duty 4. But I guess based on how much time I put into a Call of Duty, and just, the one that I think probably, in a way, had the biggest impact on me, and this might be slightly controversial, I'm going to go with Modern Warfare 2. Just because that was the first major Call of Duty that I played. I went back and I played Call of Duty 4. I started off with I started off with World at War, but the first one that I played online and I really got into was Modern Warfare 2. So and some of the maps are some of multiplayer, some of the best maps ever made. Favela, High Rise, Subbase, Derail. I can go on because I remember all these maps very vividly.
Yeah,
the campaign was really good. It started this really long trend of campaigns where something big has to happen all the time, and it's almost made predictable. But that was the first time it happened, and it was okay then. It was a really good story, and but with all the Call of Duties, they all have decent stories. I just feel like, in terms of this one, just because again it was my first, I feel like that's why I picked this one.
Yeah, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is great. I played the multiplayer for a while, and then started to get hacked, and then
that was the thing. That
kind of went downhill.
It leaves a sour taste, but then looking back, I'm like, besides that, it is probably
before it started to get hacked, it was
the best.
So yeah, those are our favorite Call of Duty games. What do you like about Call of Duty, Sam? What makes Call of Duty cool?
Well, if you want to single out everything that makes Call of Duty cool, that other games don't do or haven't picked up per se. The things that makes Call of Duty, the what do you say, the
Adrenaline.
no, the trademark thing you could say of Call of Duty. I really don't know. I mean, Modern Warfare started a lot of things, and I could say a trademark thing that I like from Call of Duty were a few of the characters. Captain Price is definitely one of my favorite video game characters of all time. He just seemed like a hard-ass, this kind of badass guy that, you know, you thought he died and he went to prison and then he breaks out and then he saves you and you go over a freaking waterfall and he's still alive and he gets in a fight. He just seems like this rough guy, and Soap was cool. I like Gaz. I hate that they killed him off in the first game. Some of the characters are pretty cool. I think that's a staple thing in Call of Duty. The multiplayer, at least from what I've played, it seems solid enough. Anything else I can't exactly say that other games don't do or haven't picked up.
I have to say the thing that I like most about Call of Duty is not the graphics, not the campaigns or the stories, it's not even the multiplayer. It's the silky smooth gameplay and controls.
Yeah.
You can hate on Call of Duty all you want, but you cannot deny how great those controls are, how natural they feel, how just play any other shooter now and try to tell me the difference between their controls and Call of Duty's. There's really none. Even Gears of War is now adopting Call of Duty's control scheme. And the gameplay is just, well, yeah, I mean, we'll get to it, but yeah, it's kind of gotten a little stale. You shoot shit. But the frame rate stays so solid, I've never had a Call of Duty with a frame rate that dips anymore. Even when the original, the Xbox 360 originally launched, Call of Duty 2, even that had the most, fucking smooth frame rate. I think that's the best thing about Call of Duty is whether you like what you do in it, it's not hampered by these technical problems in the controls. Just feels so natural to me, and that's probably my favorite thing.
I feel like my thing about what makes Call of Duty great is that they found the magic formula. It kind of goes with what Tyler's saying about how the game should play. Which is, when you hear people who don't like Call of Duty, you hear the same thing over. It's like, oh, they all look the same. It's a lot of the same thing. But, you kind of look at other games, and I mean, Gears of War, up until the most recent one, it played basically exactly the same the whole way through. I mean, there was a couple of new things they added, but it played basically the same. Halo's basically played a good bit, at least the core of it's been the same. So, I mean, Call of Duty's been like kind of the same way. They found what works. I mean, obviously people like it. It's, almost undeniably the most popular first-person shooter franchise. And, again, it works. Why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes. I see your point about Gears of War, Halo, etc. not changing. But they don't come out every year.
That's true.
Call of Duty does. Halo and Gears of War, every other year, every 3 years.
And that's the other thing. It's almost a safe buy. You can expect to get at least a little bit of enjoyment out of a Call of Duty from buying it. Like, there's that safe buy in it, too, which is, I think, nice. Because, boom, oh, God, I'm running out of games to play. Oh, there's a Call of Duty out. Well, Call of Duty's usually good. Boom. You just bought a Call of Duty.
Alright. What do you guys think about Call of Duty?
I hate.
What do you not like about Call of Duty? What are the cons of Call of Duty?
Like Keith said, what works, works. Why change it? That is a good thing to go on. I mean, it's a sure, steady thing. But I feel like Call of Duty... If there were any other games, I would probably choose those over Call of Duty. At least Call of Duty within, 1 or 2 releases of each other. Maybe one release. Like, if I played Ghost, I probably wouldn't go to Black Ops. I would go to the one before that. Or vice versa. If I played the one before Black Ops 2, I would go to Ghost. I wouldn't go Black Ops 2 because I feel like they don't change very much, and they're kind of predictable almost. You know, definitely with the ending of the game, you get into some scrap and you end up killing some guy and
In slow motion.
yeah, and it's they make it different each time, but it is what it is, and you know it's a decent steady game. That could be a good thing and a bad thing. Like each release is very steady. And the thing that I really don't like about Call of Duty probably is that it's not the only shooter out there. Like some people, at least it's more what people think of Call of Duty, is that there are other shooter games out there. I feel like a lot of people think Call of Duty is the game. You know, I feel like it's a bit overrated if that's what I'm getting at. That's about it. I mean, it's very overrated. It's a steady game, but it's not the best game in modern times. Like, you know.
I mean, no Call of Duty game's necessarily bad. It's just the thing that I think is getting to everybody is that it's a yearly franchise. It's annualized, and it's this. When you seriously boil it down, it is the same thing every year. When you boil it down, it seems like it's just a $60 expansion pack to the first Modern Warfare. It's kind of, if you boil it down to that. The campaigns, while they can just deliver some, pretty, sometimes intense moments, some kind of mindless shooting fun, and sometimes have some decent characters like Rourke from Ghost is cool, but overall the story's just kind of meh. It's just the same.
Yeah,
it's the same high adrenaline moments. The ending's always the same. Like you said, it's predictable.
I can agree with that. It seems like they've moved out of that World War II thing, and they've moved into war with Russia, it seems. And if it's not war, it's Black Ops 2, I feel like Ghost, it's some worldwide war type of thing. I know that's what you expect with a war game as such, but it's just they could, they could be a little more creative, I think.
That's how I really felt with Ghost. It's just like, this could have been so much better. And then the multiplayer, there's some cosmetic changes. They changed this, they changed your weapon loadouts. I think Black Ops 2 was probably the best, the best when it comes to changes to the multiplayer that were awesome, the most successful multiplayer. The multiplayer that I honestly have played the most, really, since probably Modern Warfare 2. It was pretty cool, but, I played Ghost and I'm just kind of like, meh, like, it's that same repetitiveness. Now, I think Call of Duty is a fun game if you have a bunch of friends and you just want to play a multiplayer game together. But honestly, if you have a bunch of friends and you all have Halo, I'd pop that in before Call of Duty. You'll get much more enjoyment. If Call of Duty was not annualized and they kind of, if they kept the same formula like they have now, but it was not annualized, I don't think it would be as hated, and I don't think I would be growing as tired of it. And that's the thing. I don't get excited for Call of Duty games anymore. I wish I could get excited for Call of Duty games, because I do enjoy Call of Duty. It's just that anymore I'm just kind of like, like a new Call of Duty, like, okay. It's just, I wish I could get excited, but because it's annualized, because it doesn't change a whole lot, I feel like I'm not going to miss much if I don't say buy the next one, or something like that. That's probably why I don't like Call of Duty.
For me, kind of almost in a similar vein of what everybody else has said, what kind of gets me is that not that they don't make changes, it's that they make changes in areas where it's almost not necessary.
I do agree with that sometimes.
Whereas, like, I'm trying to think of a good, it was like, they put a lot of emphasis on making the graphics of Ghost a lot better, when that could have went into something else. Whereas they just kind of made the game look good, and even then, the game has kind of, at least, I have played it on the Xbox One, and the colors are better, and actually does seem a little bit more colorful, but on the 360, it's almost slightly more grayish over the entirety of the game in a way. And like other things where they take the focus and they're like, let's make, a bunch of new perks. But then it's like, why don't you fix the ones that you have? You have good ideas for some things, but then it seems like if they have an idea and it doesn't work, they just scrap it. Or it's like, nobody used this gun or this perk. Just get rid of it. And they're just kind of like, that's just my main thing. They make things like that, like cosmetics and stuff that you can almost be like, that doesn't need to change too much. And then, again, the story ends up being the same. You end up using
the same animations.
Yeah, the same. I mean, yeah, they added a couple new ones, which is something cool, but then, like, just kind of like, you can slide, hey, you can dolphin dive in the Treyarch games. That's been in there a while. Kind of stuff like that. That didn't really need to happen. You could have easily just made dolphin diving in the game, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it. But I don't know. That's just me. I mean, Tyler and Sam both hit everything else. So I mean, I'm not going to go on too much longer about it. But yeah, that's really it.
Yeah. We'll come back to it if we need to. Battlefield. Let's talk about Battlefield now. Yeah. What do you like about Battlefield, Sam? What's your favorite game from Battlefield? All that good jazz.
So far I haven't played Battlefield 4 yet. I just picked up Battlefield 3 because it was pretty cheap. It was like $9 for what I've heard is a decent game. What some people like, some people don't like it. So far, I've beaten it. I've beaten the game, and it's not like they're entirely a world apart. They're both war games. Something going on with a foreign country where there's nuclear devices, as always. This modern war theme, but the feeling of Battlefield is different almost. I feel like graphically, it's a bit more pleasing to me than Call of Duty, because any Call of Duty game that I've played, comparing it to Battlefield, I just feel like Battlefield has this bigger array of things. Like, just, for example, Battlefield 3, when the first mission you're in the Middle East, and after you come out into the street and you have to follow that wire into that building, and you come back out and stuff starts going whack, I feel like that is just cooler than Call of Duty, because I feel like you look around, everything just seems kind of bigger almost, and bold, if you will. At least to me, that's what I get from it. The missions seem pretty standard. You raid this house, or you drop down into here, and you go after this. But with missions like, before you raid the bank in Battlefield 3, the first part of that mission, when you're just running downhill, that is so cool. It feels like standard military stuff that I feel like isn't in Call of Duty. Because in Call of Duty, it feels like you're playing as the Black Ops guys, you're playing these guys in these special forces or something, and there's like, 2 or 3 other guys, and you're all sneaking around, and you're just in this little tight group and stuff, and yeah, that is in Battlefield, but at least with the mission I'm talking about, when you're running downhill, or when you're trying to get to that dude's house, and the Russians are airdropping in, and it just feels like more basic military stuff. Like, you're not at the top of everything, you're not in some secret corps going after someone. It feels like you're just a plain dude going, in through standard military stuff, and through a war that you don't know much about. And I feel that that's pretty cool. Where, at least just the way the game looks, the feeling of the game, that's what I like about Battlefield.
I do agree with you that the graphics and the feeling of shooting is so much better, and
the shooting is definitely, it feels
more realistic, and everything feels a lot better in Battlefield. That's probably the thing that I enjoy the most as well. However, I do not like the campaigns at all. I was pretty impressed with like the first 3 missions from Battlefield 3, and then I was kind of like, I was, after that I was just bored out of my mind. I had to force myself to finish that game. I just thought it was such a drag. So the campaign I didn't really enjoy in Battlefield 3. However, I think the best Battlefield games are the Bad Company games. The Battlefield Bad Company games are fantastic. They're funny. They actually have characters that you know the names of, that you get a lot of enjoyment out of. And it's a little bit more not as serious. It's a little bit more on, you know, slightly more cartoony, I guess you can say. But it's still, you know, a gritty war. It's still very fun. And then also, I like in Battlefield, I like the multiplayer. I didn't play Battlefield 3's multiplayer. I really want to play 4, but I don't want to buy a broken game. However, in Bad Company, the multiplayer was fucking phenomenal. It was different. There was a huge emphasis on teamwork. You know, you can't just lone wolf it in that game. The maps were big. You know, you felt like it felt more like a battle. You know, there was little battles going on everywhere, and it all achieved a large goal. And the multiplayer, and you know, there's vehicles, and they're all fun to use. Everybody's contributing something, and it's truly a team war experience. You know, you can't win a war with just one person. It's a team, and that's what the Battlefield multiplayer really gets the best in my mind.
So we're just kind of talking all around Battlefield, like what's good, what's bad, and all that good stuff.
I mean, talk about what's good.
I just went through what's good.
Alright,
Yeah.
for me, my favorite Battlefield games, because I haven't played Battlefield 3 or 4. Again, I really like the Bad Company series. The Bad Company games are really good. But also Battlefield 1942 was an amazing
that
game.
game was awesome.
Like,
Fuck out of that.
That's probably my favorite out of all of them. It's you know, the stereotypical World War II shooter, but it was really good. And the thing that I like about the Battlefield series is the same reason why I like the campaign of Modern Warfare 3 a little better than some of the other campaigns. The reason why I really like the campaign to Call of Duty World at War, it's because, and like kind of like these guys says, it's kind of a bigger scale. It's more of army versus small Black Ops team taking on, you know, other, you know, Black Ops soldiers. It's more, you know, like entire nations at war. You very much get that feeling. There's that scope in Battlefield, and you know, I played the only multiplayer. I mean, I played Battlefield 1942. I played that a good bit, but I don't remember too much. It was a while ago. Bad Company 2, I played a lot of that multiplayer, and there was just a lot of, like, how much the teamwork. You know, you as a sniper, you could, you know, target people and be like, boom, there he is, and then, you know, so there's a lot of emphasis on that
The thing that was
teamwork.
cool about 1942 is that it was just strictly a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it
was just an awesome multiplayer experience. That game was incredible. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's just a really good. You know, there's things that this series does better than Call of Duty. The characters I think are much better in a lot of the Battlefield games, in my opinion, and also just, again, like these guys said, it plays so much better. It facilitates, you know, the use of vehicles, because, you know, again, it does that scope. It feels so much bigger, but then it also, you know, I feel, and I'll get to that in a second. It just kind of fails in other ways, though, in my opinion. A lot of these games have.
Yeah, what don't you like about Battlefield?
The thing I didn't like about Battlefield 3 it's not so much a dislike as
An annoyance.
it's kind of an thing. Is the way that it went through the campaign with flashbacks and stuff. That's neat. I understand it, but at some points it took me a little bit to like kind of catch up. Not I kind of felt stupid, but it took me a bit like the mission in Battlefield 3 when you're playing as Dima and you're running through France trying to stop some nuclear bomb or something. I was like, in which order did that go in? Where did these take place? I felt like some of them may have been out of order. Like that one was kind of present day, I think. And the rest of them sort of went in chronological order a bit. And so I kind of felt like that it was cool, but I didn't quite connect up with it. Not that it's a bad thing. It was pretty cool. It makes you guess and it makes you use your brain, which is a good thing. But not that they should take that away. I just feel like they should make it a bit, I don't know, kind of a bit different. Maybe add a few more flashbacks or something more to the game. I felt Battlefield 3 went by incredibly fast, almost. The missions seemed to have enough substance, or they seem to fill the shoes quite nicely. And there was a little bit left over, but the entire game, I beat it in one night. So, I mean, I don't really know. It seemed like each level was cool, but there wasn't enough to the game. And the thing I didn't like was they took a page out of Call of Duty's book, and the very last thing, you're fighting that guy in Times Square.
Yep.
It was cool because it's Times Square. It's a big city with people standing around looking at you, and you just got into a car chase instead of being in wherever Call of Duty's usually set in, somewhere in another country or something. You're in Times Square and you're escaping through New York. That was a cool feeling. It's something different than Call of Duty. It just felt like you're in the moment of things and you're not always in some other place. And even when you are in the Middle East, it felt better in Battlefield rather than in Call of Duty. One thing Tyler said earlier, the shooting is definitely, it feels a lot better in Battlefield. Everything feels better about shooting and running and, crouching, all that stuff. I love that about Battlefield 4. But the thing I dislike is just kind of, I feel like it's trying to match Call of Duty in some ways. And in some ways it beats Call of Duty with, the shooting and just the spectrum of everything. But some ways I feel like it's trying to match Call of Duty, at least with the ending scene, the fight, the choreographed fight, and some things like that. I feel like it needs to, branch off a bit and kind of push off of Call of Duty and really take its own thing.
That's the thing that I was literally going to say that I don't like about Battlefield is that I feel besides the Bad Company games, they were so different and so unique. The core Battlefield games like Battlefield 3, they're just trying too much to. They're trying to take what Call of Duty does and just trying to take everything up a notch. But I feel, especially on the campaign side, they just fall flat on their face. Like, when it comes to gameplay mechanics, like Sam said, it feels so much better. But when it comes to a story, it's really, at least in my personal opinion, it was so hard for me to even try to figure out what was going on because I was just so fucking bored by the story because it was so stereotypical and just not that intriguing to me. And I just, like Sam said, like the ending, I just kind of threw my hands up. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like another, am I playing Call of Duty right now? I was just like pissed off by that. I just don't like the campaigns when it comes to Battlefield. I want them to branch out. I want them to do their own thing and not try to take what Call of Duty has and just, try to beat them. You'll get your sales and your reputation by making a great game that is unique, not making a Call of Duty clone with some very cool things with 64-player multiplayer, whatever. that's what I want them to do. That's why I like the Battlefield Bad Company games, or Battlefield 1942 or something. It was so different. It was so cool. It had a very funny campaign with some great gameplay and graphics and amazing multiplayer. That's what I want more out of Battlefield, not Battlefield 3, and certainly not Battlefield 4, because no one likes games that don't work.
No. My main thing, and it's in the same light of what these guys have said, it's that, if to use a good analogy of how this situation is, it's almost like a sibling rivalry, in a way, between the Call of Duty and Battlefield, where it's like, Call of Duty's the older sibling and Battlefield's the younger sibling, in which in a lot of cases, the younger kids, in the shadow of their older sibling, and it's really hard for them to get out of that. And, the older sibling doesn't really have to try. They just get, they kind of get all the attention. Doesn't even try. Whereas so Call of Duty, doesn't have to try, really. And they, have a extremely well-selling game and a game that works really well. Whereas Battlefield, they have to work for it. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened with the last two games was, not even that, they're directly trying to compete with Call of Duty. And it seems like specifically they're trying to directly compete with Infinity Ward Call of Duties. So they put out Battlefield 3 at the same time as Modern Warfare 3. And to be fair, both games, neither game in a way were all that good, Battlefield 3 with the campaign and Modern Warfare 3 because of the multiplayer. So for opposite reasons, both games kind of did bad. But then, especially when you look at what Battlefield 4 is, it seems like they were just trying to let's just put a game out before Ghost. And look at it. It doesn't work.
They're trying to compete more than just trying to make an amazing game.
That's kind of what it's like. When they're releasing a game, they're worrying about Call of Duty instead of the audience almost.
Yeah, exactly. With Battlefield 4, they just wanted to get that game, like Keith said. They just wanted it out before Call of Duty. They wanted a Battlefield game out to compete with Call of Duty when it should have been coming out, probably in March or April of this year, when it was actually finished. And it's just kind of like there's millions of beta testers out there almost,
Yeah, and then,
I feel you.
They're even trying to fix the game and it's making it worse. That's how bad they messed up. I feel like they shouldn't worry about that. I mean, look at what happened. I mean, honestly, just stop trying to compete with Call of Duty. No offense, Battlefield, you're not going to win. I mean, look what happened to Medal of Honor. Call of Duty did that. Where's Medal of Honor? Last game was Warfighter, which came out in 2011 or 2012.
That game was balls.
So just don't. Yeah, I mean, just make your own games. You don't have to compete.
And that's the thing too. They don't have to compete because they have so much potential. They have the ideas. They're not annualized. People actually get excited for them. They had the potential is there to definitely, create better games than Call of Duty. They just shouldn't compete.
Yeah.
That's words.
So, which one do you pick? Which one wins?
I'd have to go with Call of Duty, just because of all those facts that I just put there. It's that, like I said, Battlefield's trying too hard. If I wanted to play a game that was like Call of Duty, like I said, I'll keep playing Call of Duty, so...
If Battlefield 4 wasn't so broken on the multiplayer side, I would possibly say Battlefield, just because I feel that 64-player, large-scale battles are just so much more intriguing than, what Call of Duty's offering right now.
6-on-6.
But because it's like that, because Call of Duty games are consistent, even though they're not really that original anymore, they kind of copy themselves, I would say Call of Duty. I still get enjoyment out of Call of Duty games. It's just, my enjoyment is becoming less and less. What seems most iteration. Maybe it's just I don't like Infinity Ward Call of Duties anymore. I don't know, the past two haven't been that great in my mind. But I would have to say Call of Duty for now. Could change in a couple of years, who knows. Sam?
Myself, just from playing Battlefield 3, and that's the only Battlefield that I've played, it's kind of not a fair choice all that much. But I would honestly have to say I like what Battlefield does more. I like the potential there. The way it feels when you're charging downhill with a bunch of your own dudes into the city rather than, just somehow being airdropped into the city or sneaking in with your 4-man squad and doing something typically Call of Duty. It feels more like warfare to me. Honestly, I get more of that feeling in Battlefield. And that's what I like about it. When I play Battlefield 4, I guess that'll say a lot of what that'll be a lot of what the choice I make, depends on. But right now, I have to say Battlefield, I like it a little bit more. It's a nice breather from Call of Duty, and it definitely has the potential. So when I play Battlefield 4, if it's the same as Battlefield 3, I'm just going to be like, no, to hell with both of them. But if Battlefield 4 is good, I want to get it soon. If it's good, if it's up to par, then I think Battlefield is definitely onto something, and, because this guy I work with talks about it all the time, and he loves everything about it. So I'll have to get it, and I'll have to see, and, because Battlefield has the opportunity that Call of Duty hasn't taken. That Battlefield they have room that they can move, and that they may move, and they may make something that's separate from Call of Duty, not, what's the word I'm looking for? Things that are right next to each other.
Parallel.
No, but they're touching.
Perpendicular.
I think that may be it. But they're not like touching. The Battlefield can go off and make its own path a little bit, where it still may be right at Call of Duty, but it's still its own path. I would say Battlefield.
Touching mirrors.
Yeah.
Alright, man. This is a long video.
It is.
See you guys later.
Blaze it.